So welcome to the 3D modeling basics session. In this session we are going to talk about basics of 3D modeling, what are the basic features, how to access them, then how to make your part even more visually attractive and enhance its appearance, because this is since in this course you are going to make 3D virtual prototypes, you need to learn about how to make your part look better. And also I will touch on evaluation mode, why it is important, and in the end I will explain to you what is the assignment about in this lab. Okay, so how do I start? So let's start and jump into the three basics of 3D modeling. Okay, so as you remember, in the previous exercise we've touched on sketching only, but this time let's go into the features mode and explore more how to make 3D objects. So what I will do is I will go to File, click on New. I hope these options are not new for you anymore. We have three modes: Part, Assembly, and Drawing. So let's go to the Part mode and click OK. So the SolidWorks program is going to load Part module for us to do some modeling. And then once the Part module is loaded, the first thing we have to do, as we did earlier, is to choose our units in this case. So in this case, let me choose my units to be millimeters. Here I will go down at the bottom and I will choose my units to be millimeters, grams, and seconds. Okay, millimeters, grams, and seconds. Once I choose the millimeters, grams, and seconds, so once we have selected the units to be millimeters, so first thing we will do is select millimeters. And then let's start developing some simple models. I want to show you the basic 3D commands, which are Extrude Cut and Extrude Boss. Using this, we can draw anything we like. Okay. So here, let's start and develop something very basic. So I'm going to make a basic 3D part to show you different features. For that, let me choose top plane as my first reference. So I want to create a sketch on top plane. What I will do is I will right click on top plane and click on the option called sketch. Let's do this. So once I am in sketch mode, I always try to keep and draw my objects around origin so they catch their reference automatically. Let me make a basic square shape here first. So I'll choose the square and I will draw a simple square sketch of square here like this. Okay, so once the square is roughly around the edges are equal, let's go and give it a smart dimension. So we'll choose smart dimension and let's give some easy dimensions to remember so we know what we are modeling. Remember, we are going to explore the 3D features now. So we are going into Extrude Boss, or we make it a 3D object. Let me give it some length here. So here I'm going to give it around 100 millimeters here, and let's give another 100 millimeters on this side as well. Okay, so we have another 100 millimeters on the left side of our screen, which is here. Okay, good. So we have 100 by 100 square. It is very nicely turned black color, and it is having fully dimensioned sketches. I prefer always to have fully dimensioned sketches because these help me also fix the items to their reference. Okay, and also does not make the parts moving around. So once I have 100 by 100 sketch here, I'm okay with my dimensions. So let me close my dimension option from here. And this 100 by 100, I want to also give it 100 thickness to make it 3D object. So how I can do it? I will exit from my sketch, and here I have the sketch number 1 for the square. Now let's go to the features mode now. This is the new thing which we are going to explore today, features. Before we had all the options on the sketching here, but once we finish the sketch, we go to features. In the features, the first and most important is called Extrude Boss Base. If I keep my mouse on this one, it will also show you how it gives the thickness to your sketch. So let's open this one, and it will ask me select a plane on which the sketch or feature is there, or select an existing sketch. I have the sketch ready, so let me select this sketch and see what happens. So let me select the sketch. I selected the sketch by clicking on the sketch, and then the program gives me the 3D version of the same sketch. Let me zoom out from here using my mouse scroll button. So I'm scrolling up to zoom out, and then it gives a thickness. If you can see the options on the left side here, it gives the thickness 10 millimeters. I can increase it to make it 20, 30, 40. As I am increasing, you can see it's going out of my screen. So I need to make sure I can see it properly. How do I do it? There is a shortcut which I told you. Press the space bar button on your keyboard. Click on the model area and then press the space bar button here. Hold on. Oh, the option cancelled out. Okay, let's try it again. Extrude boss. Select an existing sketch. So I select the sketch. And then here instead of 10 I want to make it 100. So I'll just select this and write 100 and see what happens. The box becomes 100 millimeter. Then we have to click on the green arrow in order to accept this. Once I click on the green arrow, you can see my model has become in a 3D shape. But how can I view it properly? I will press my spacebar button, and then I have the view orientation menus. From here I will choose this one. So once we are in feature mode, we choose isometric here, so the thing straightens up in front of you. If this is too big for you, you can zoom in or zoom out based on your preference. Okay, that's how easy to use the extrude feature. If you make a star and in the sketch you extrude it, it becomes a 3D star. If you make a circle, it becomes circle. One thing I want you to notice here is the design tree on the left side. Guys, here you can see the sketch 1 is missing. Where did it go? It went inside the feature, which is extrude boss number 1. So if I open this small triangle from here, I can see my sketch 1 inside. If you click on sketch 1, it highlights the sketch and it shows me that there is a 100 by 100 square from which I made the feature of boss. So if I click on boss, it will give me the boss feature. Then if you click here, the thing disappears and it gives you a simple 3D model here. So the design tree is really important to follow because you follow this design tree step-by-step methodology to design your model. Okay, so that was the extrude feature here. If you have any question, please tell me. Okay, one thing which is very important in making 3D models is the design intent. This is the second part I wrote here on my notes. The design intent means what do you think and what's the philosophy of the model you are going to make? How does it builds up? So how do you imagine your part to be and how does it looks like? So design intent is very important, because if you want to make a certain shape, you need to make the sketches according to that shape also. Okay, so design intent is how do you plan to make your design or your model. For example, if I want this square to be in a different shape or the edges to be in a different way, I can do it from my sketching or I can do it from my features also. So I'll show you these by more examples inshallah now. But one thing I want you to notice is this. Before moving on and make it more complicated, let's try to see how we edit certain things. So if I want to edit, instead of 100 thickness, I want to give it 50. How do I do it? So I have to edit the feature because the thickness was given in the feature command. So let's right click on this, and the first option I see is called edit feature. If I go to edit feature, I can edit what I did before, and here it will give me option to change your thickness from 100 to any desired value you want. So here in this case, let me make it 50 millimeters and click OK. And then here I have the thickness changed to 50. Click OK and you accept this, and my model has become 50 thickness. Now remember, if you want to edit the dimension of the square, for example, you don't want it to be 100 by 100, but instead you want it 100 by 50 to make it a rectangle. How you can do it? Because the sketch was made, and here is where you define the width and length. You can change the sketch by right-clicking the sketch and clicking on the edit sketch option. There is a difference. Editing sketch is different from editing feature. Feature is in 3D, sketch is in 2D. So let me show you. If you click on edit sketch, it will give me the sketch in its location. You can change it while you are in 3D, or you can change the view to be 2D by pressing spacebar and click on this button called normal to. So the view will make it normal to what I can see. As I said, we can change it to 100 by 50. So double click on the dimension and you can simply change it to be 50 as you normally change in your sketching. So I will write 50 by keyboard and press the green arrow. You can see the sketch became 50. Once I exit the sketch, watch what happens. So once I exit my sketch, you can see the model is updating and it will change in 3D as well. So how I can see? Again, I will press the spacebar button and I will change my view to be isometric. And watch, the cross section has changed to 50 by 100, as well as the boss extrude thickness has become 50. You can see it here. That's how you edit the sketches. Okay, so editing is equally important as drawing for the first time. Now for the design intent part, what if I want to make a circle in the front face here? How can I make it? Let me ask you. So we can do it by drawing a sketch on any face you like. For example, I want to extrude, or I want to make another 3D shape on one of the faces. How can I do it? I don't need to select the front, top and right plane always to sketch. You can sketch, once you have something 3D, you can sketch on any face of it also. So let's take this example and see what does it mean. Let's make another square on top of this face. How can I do it? I have to select this face and then I have to go to sketch option from the top, and then here I can sketch anything I like. For example, let me sketch two circles. It's good to have this. So let me sketch two circles. I'll select circle, and as I bring my mouse here, you can see it gives me option to sketch here on this face. What's the best way to sketch? The best way to sketch is to bring this view in front of you. But let me show you one option from this view also. So I will click and I will draw here a circle. And then the next thing is simple. You can just go to smart dimension and you can choose this circle and give it the dimension as we desired. So in this case, let me give it a dimension of in this case, the reasonable will be 20 mm. So let me give it a 20 mm dimension of the circle. Okay, 20 mm. I can also make another circle, but this time let me show you by changing my views. So let me come out of dimension. We are still in sketching mode, guys. Remember, how you can tell is by this button here. It means exit sketch. So it means we are still developing our sketch 2. The only difference is that we are making sketch 2 on top of a 3D face. Remember. So let me make another circle. So watch, if I make two circles, what happens? I'll make another circle, but this time I want to see this circle in front of me. How can I do it? Before sketching, at any time you can press spacebar and you can change your view to be normal to. It means it will become normal to this face, so I can sketch better. You can see I can see things much better in this way for sketching, for 2D sketching. So now let's give it again a dimension similar to the bottom one. So I want to give this also 20 millimeter, the same as the bottom one. So let's give this a dimension of 20 mm. Here it loads 20 mm. Okay, let's click OK. Alright, once we have the 20 mm circle, two 20 mm circles, why I see them both as blue? Because their dimension or their location is not fixed, which means the sketch is not fully defined. We need to give one dimension from the center of the circle to the center of origin as well to fix its location. So let's fix this location to be 30 millimeters from the center. Okay, so once I fix this one, let's hope here we have it, one for this one and one for this one. and here I also want to give the same dimension to be 30 mm from the center. Okay, that's okay. Good. So we have two circles available at 30 millimeter from the origin, but it's not blacked out. The circle is not black. Why? Because we are still missing some dimension. Maybe the sketch thinks it can move left and right, so we need to give a dimension to fix it in the origin. You can give it by dimension, or you can give it by constraint also. So let me show you what's constraint. Constraint is I want to define this point and this origin should be in one line. So if I select both of them, I will be given option here on the left side. How you can select both? So now this is very important. You have to click on one center, and then you can click on another center by control click. Then it will select both of them. So he asks you, what do you want to do with this? I want to make them vertical. So once I click this option, the sketch turns black. It means it will not move from its location. I also want to make this origin, and control click the center of this circle. And this one also we want to make vertical. Once I click this option, okay, let it select. Hold on, it's selecting wrong things. Hold on, let me do it again. I'll select the center of this circle and the center of origin, and then it gives me options to choose from. I'll choose vertical, and the bottom sketch also turns black. Once I have the two sketches ready, let me go back to my isometric view by spacebar and then click this button, and I can see this button. Now what happens if I choose the features and extrude boss command? Let's see what happens. If you click this, my sketch 2, which is already made on top of one face, will be given thickness automatically. You can see if I zoom out that the program is making 100 millimeters circles cylinders. So let's reduce this to be around 30 and press the green arrow. You will have the boss extrude with two circles at one time for the cylinders on top of an existing face. Now notice what's happening in your design tree. If you open this one, from the beginning I can see the whole history. First I made the sketch, then I make it extrude boss, then I make the second sketch, and I make the extrude boss. So the design tree gives you the history of how you are developing your model. Okay. This was the two examples of extrude boss. If you keep using boss extrude and keep developing on top of each other different things, you can make anything you like. But one feature is missing. What is that? Is to how to cut something inside. For that, if you go to features, you have one option here called extrude cut. What does extrude cut do? It allows you to cut a sketch inside an existing solid body. Okay, you need to have existing body in order to cut inside. Okay, how we can do it? Let me show you one example by drawing one square here and show you how to cut inside. Okay, so I will choose any face. You can choose any face to draw your sketch. So let me choose this face for this time. I'll choose this face, and then I will click on sketch, then I will click on the square option here. So in this case, let me draw this time a corner rectangle, and then the software allows me to draw a rectangle on this face. But in order to draw better, let's go into the normal view mode. So let's press spacebar, and then I will click on normal to. So it takes me normal to this face, and I can simply draw one rectangle here from here to here, from one edge to another edge. Now it's good to give dimensions here, but in order to save time, I'll just skip the dimensioning part and show you how to go to extrude cut feature. Okay, so let's go to features. Okay, there is two options you can do. If you go to features and select extrude cut directly, it will choose automatically the sketch which is available. But if you exit the sketch, you have to click on the sketch to choose it. So let me give you the other option, because that's what normally people do. So just click OK. Once you are done with rectangle, you can exit your sketch, and here on the design tree on the left side I can see my sketch 3. So and here you can also see it's gray color, but it's difficult to see. Let's zoom out, go to our 3D view, spacebar and isometric, and now I know I have to cut this square inside. So if I click on sketch 3, I can see it's in orange color or blue color also. So let's go to features here on top, go to extrude cut. In the extrude cut, it asks me again which sketch you want to use. I can choose the sketch by my mouse, but if you cannot see, you can see the design tree has moved on the left here also. So you can open this from here, this arrow, and you can choose sketch 3 also directly. So if I click sketch 3, the software will give me a 3D visualization on how the extrude cut will be behaving. So now you can see it is cutting inside up to half. If I can reduce it, it will cut only to this point. If you want to make it more, it can cut up to the whole 50 also. So let's cut it through to the whole 50 and see what happens. I'll make it 50 and click OK and see what happens. So once the part is updated, you can see there is a hole inside my object. Let me try to rotate and show you how it's done. I will click my scroll button and then I move my mouse. This allows me to rotate my part. Okay, this mouse using is also very important. How did I do it? I click my scroll middle button and then I try to move my mouse to it allows me to rotate. So you can see there is a hole being made in the center of our part. Again, if I go to my design tree, you can see extrude cut feature has been added. So this gives me a history of how is things happening. Before moving on to any other feature, let me tell you one more thing on how we can edit these. For example, if I want to edit my cut feature, how can I do it? So if I cut it wrong, so there is two ways I can do it. One option is if I want to edit my cut feature. So you can right click your extrude cut feature and click on edit feature. This will allow me to change the depth of cut because this is what the cut feature do. So if I reduce it to 40 and you can see it is cutting up to 40 only, click OK. You will see that the depth of cut has been reduced to 40 and we have a wall on the other side because the feature did not cut through the end. Okay. Also, if you want to change the size of this cut, you can change the sketch also. So right click on the sketch and click on edit sketch. So if you remember, we did not give dimension to this sketch. I can simply drag it and change it. I will change it to make it smaller because maybe this is not the cut I want. So I just make it smaller. Once I am happy, you can click the green arrow OK and you can just simply exit the sketch. And you will see the 3D feature has automatically been updated. So that's how you slowly build your 3D models to make anything you like from using only extrude cut and boss extrude features only. There's many other advanced features also which you can use, but mainly these are the two main basic features which you can use to build any part you like. In the basic 3D features, there is two features which are similar to what we use in sketching. These are called fillet and chamfer. I like to use fillet a lot in my 3D features also because you can find fillet in sketch which will allow you to make sketch with fillets, but there is fillets in features also. So if you click on features, I have here fillet option. What does it do? If you can see the logo clearly, it allows you to make any sharp curve rounded. Why we need it? Because sometimes it's difficult to handle 3D parts. In reality, these are sharp edges. So this is a pointing corner. What if you catch it by your hand by force? It can pinch inside our hand. So what people do is they make the edges round. How you can make the edges round? You can use the fillet option. So let's see what it does. If you open this, you have two, fillet and chamfer. So let's see fillet first. I'll click on fillet and then the feature will guide you what to do. So once you click on fillet, you can see items to fillet. What do you want to fillet and how much you want the fillet radius. So let's give for now a small radius because bigger radius can also create problems for us. So let me give it a small radius of 5 mm and click on this area to choose the edges you want to fillet. So let's choose this one for now. We want to make this one to be in fillet. you can see a graphical representation of what the part will do, and it will make it fillet or rounded. Let's click OK. You can see for fillet we did not need any sketch. You can do it directly. That's why on the design tree it's fillet on its own. And this is a nice rounded shape for your part, which will maybe easy for you. You can also do fillet. So let me show you one more time. You can also do fillet to the whole face. If you select the whole face, it will make fillet for all the edges inside that face. So let me show you the top face or the back face for this part. Okay, this is all edges are pointing, right? So if I choose this face on its own, you will see all the side edges have become fillet, and click OK. Here the software has made all the edges fillet, and this is now a nice looking round shape here, which in the first fillet we just did it to one edge. In the second we did it for the whole face, so all the edges related to this face became filleted. Okay, let me fix my view to be isometric, and now let me jump into the chamfer option, which is similar to fillet. So click on chamfer, and let's see what the chamfer does. So it's also done in the same way. You need to select the edge, and you need to select the distance of how much you want to chamfer and by what angle. So in order to avoid problems, let me make it 5mm chamfer for the inside square. So I can also select different edges one by one. So I am selecting multiple one by one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and click OK. So you can see how the chamfer has created inside my part. You can see it has a cut slot straight to be this one. Okay, so we have covered the boss extrude, the extrude cut, and also fillet and chamfer, and also I have touched on how you can design your model to be building on top of the previous feature by using the edge and sketch on top of it. There is additional features also which are available in the 3D modeling part, and we will touch them shortly, inshallah. And but the basic idea is, if you want, you can build any object by drawing anything on top of this one. What if I want to delete the chamfer? I did not like it, and also I did not like the fillet too. So how we can delete it? You can just click on the chamfer, right click, and you can click on the delete option. It will ask you, do you want to delete the chamfer option? Yes, it will delete the chamfer, and you can see my part has returned to this state. What if I also don't like the back fillet? I can right click and I can press the delete option, and it will delete the back fillet also, and it will return my part slowly to the previous state. Okay, let me show you how to have the pattern feature. For example, these circles, you want them more on top of the you want more circles on top of this object. So what I will do is, let me first try to show you how I can edit the existing feature. I will right click on sketch, and I will click on edit this sketch. See which sketch it will give me. It will give me the sketch of two circles which we draw before. So let me delete this circle. Okay, and I'm trying to make a small cylinder on top, and then I'll show you how we can repeat it easily. If I delete this circle and click exit sketch, watch what happens to our 3D model, how it changes. Because we deleted one sketch and now we are left with only one sketch here, we can see that our 3D model, after it updates, has only one cylinder. Okay, for example, if you have one cylinder like this, how can I make three without drawing sketches? So that's where we use this feature called linear pattern. Okay, linear pattern. It allows you to create multiple objects on one object. Okay, so I want you to, if you open this linear pattern, you have other options also, like circular pattern, you have mirror, you have many other types of pattern, but let's take the basic one, linear pattern. Click on linear pattern, and then the software will ask me, what do you want to pattern? So once the linear pattern opens, the option is open. Okay, Once the linear pattern option is open, the first thing you need to define here is which direction you want to pattern or repeat. I want it to repeat in this direction along this edge. So select this one and you will see one arrow. Is it pointing in the correct direction? If yes, good. Otherwise, you can click on this button to make it point the other way. But we want it in this direction, so let's keep it here. How many repetitions you want? So for example, I want 3 only. How much distance should be in the middle for each one of them? So let's make it 10 millimeter, or since the diameter of this was 20, let's make it 30 millimeter. And if you scroll down on this one, it asks you features and faces. Here you need to open this option and select the feature you want to repeat. So I will go here and I will select this cylinder, and once I select, you can see in yellow the feature is repeating by 3 and it is having a distance of 30 millimeter. You can increase this to be 40 and you can see it's going out of the model, or you can reduce it to be 20, so it's right next to it. So let's try to have 4. I'll just make it 22. I'll just make it 22 and let's try to see. Okay, once we have it 3, we were reducing the distance to be 20, and we can make it 22 to have just some space here. And we can change it to be repeating 4 times. Let's see how it goes. So it will give you a small visual hint of how it will look like after you finish. And once you are happy, just click the green arrow from here, and you can see that our model will have 4 cylinders repeated automatically like this. You can repeat any feature you like in pattern. I'll show you another one right now. So this one is repeated and you can see I have 4 cylinders on top of each other with a gap of 22 millimeter between their centers. Let me show you another feature by repeating also. So let's draw a repeating for a cut feature. So for that, let me make a new, select this face at the back, and I can sketch any small object. So this time let me sketch polygon. Since we did not practice this polygon, let me sketch polygon. I'll select that. How many sides it should have? It should have 5 sides, and let me make a small polygon here. Okay, and once I am happy with the sketch, I can use features directly and I can click on extrude cut. Because I did not exit my sketch, you can see if I click on extrude cut, it will select my current sketch automatically, and it will give me the options related to this sketch. This is now we are cutting inside. You can see if I cut 120, it is too far. So in order to demonstrate, let me just cut here by 5 millimeter. Okay, click OK, and you can see that I have made a small pentagon inside here by 5 millimeter. Okay, now let's see if we can repeat this feature of cutting here in 2 directions. So now this is a little bit more tricky. Let me show you how. So how to do linear pattern? So features pattern, we will go to linear pattern option from top here. Click on this linear pattern option. Once the linear pattern option opens, we can choose, the first thing you need to choose is the direction, where you want to repeat in which direction. But it's better, let's choose the feature first. How you choose the feature? Click on this area, features and faces. The top part, click on this blue area. Once it turns blue, you can choose the feature by clicking on the feature, or you can select the feature from here also. So open this and choose the feature you want to repeat. In this case, I want to repeat cut extrude. If I click on cut extrude, you can see the option has chosen this feature. Now, which direction you want to repeat? So I want to repeat in this direction. I can choose this and it will repeat on the horizontal direction. If I choose this, it will repeat downwards. So let me choose the horizontal direction like this, and you can see it is repeating 4 times. If you want, you can increase it to be 5 times. You can reduce the distance between them. You can also increase as much as you want. Okay, so let's reduce it by repeat it 4 times, 3, 4, and increase the distance between them to be around this 22. Okay, and if I click OK, I will have 4 of these here. But you can also repeat, guys, in the direction 2. So I will repeat in the left also, and it will repeat in down also. So if I click on direction 2, I choose this edge, it will repeat here down. You need to increase the number of times it repeats. So if you click 2, you will see it's repeating in down direction also. But we need to increase this distance a little bit. So let's make it 15 millimeter, and you can see that it's repeating. It is repeating downwards also. So if I repeat by 3 down and 4 on the right side, we will have this pattern to be made at the back side. So let's see what happens. Sometimes it gives errors also because it's too complicated sometimes. So let's click OK here and see what happens to our model. Yes, it worked, alhamdulillah, successfully, and we have this pattern repeated like this at the back. This is a feature which you can use to create repetitive features on your object, and it helps a lot in building that one easily. I hope you understand it very well. You can also repeat in circular way. You can explore this on your own. What it does, it repeats your design in a circular way. Sometimes you need this, sometimes you need linear in a direction. So it depends on what you want to make and what you want to build. So one more additional feature which is very important is the reference plane feature. Okay, reference plane. What if I don't want to use this face? What if I want to cut a hole from the side in this cylinder? How can I do it? Because there is no plane I can select from here, or no face. If I select this, it's a round face. I cannot sketch on the round face easily, which it will give me option which is gray out. So in this case, I need a plane in order to sketch in this one, an additional plane. Yes, I know I can use right plane also, but you can see the right plane is inside the cylinder. What if I want to come from outside and cut only a little bit here? So in that case, we need to create another plane. And here we use a feature called, so let me fix my views. I'll make it isometric view for my model. We need to use a feature called reference geometry. So go to features and move to the end here called reference geometry. Open this one, and here I have option called plane. I want you to select this, and it allows me to create some additional planes. From the beginning you have 3 planes, which is front, top and right plane. But using this plane feature, you can create additional planes. So you can create planes at any way we want, but the simplest is to create using first reference. So my first reference, I want to choose right plane. It tells me from the right plane where you want this plane to be. I want this plane to be at 10 millimeter. Maybe not. Maybe I want it at 20 millimeter. So let's check. This 20, you can see the blue highlighted area is the new plane which will be created. And you can create multiple planes also. So if I click 2, it will create 2 planes. But now let's stick with one at 20 millimeter. And click OK. Once we click OK, I want you to notice in your design tree here that I have one feature called plane 1, and it's visible here also. The rest of the planes are hidden. You can see this was the original front plane, original top plane, original right plane, but the plane 1 is visible. You can see it here because this is the newly one we created. So what you can do, you can right click on the plane 1 and you can click on sketch. It will give you option to sketch on plane 1. This is plane 1 which you are sketching on. So if I draw a small circle, I am able to draw on plane 1. It's good to make it normal too, so you can draw properly. So press space bar and click on normal too. It will give you the plane 1 2D view. So as I told you, I want to make a circle here on this cylinder from the side. So I can draw a circle here simply, and let's skip the dimensioning part and go to features and click on Extrude Cut, because I want to cut a circle inside the cylinder. And in order to see how this feature is cutting in the cylinder, I need to change my view. So let's go back to isometric view by my mouse scrolling. So let me see it from the side, and you can see that this is cutting until now in the air. So this will give you error. Let's check a little bit more. We have to give it 10 some number. So I have given it 10 as of now. Let's see where is the 10 cutting. 10 is cutting until this point. I can increase it a little bit more. So let me make it 13. So you need to cut some 3D feature for sure. You cannot leave it cutting in the air, otherwise the software will give you error. So maybe this is how I want to cut. Let's click OK and see what it does for our model. And once if I click OK, my model refreshes and I can bring you the isometric view. Look, it has cut here a nice circle which is from plane 1 to the cylinder. Once you are happy with this cutting, you can right click on the plane 1 on the left on design 3, and you can click on this eye icon to make it hidden. Once the plane 1 is hidden, I have a nice circle on this one. How I made it? I made it using a reference geometry feature and drawing additional plane. You can create as many planes as you want, and these planes can allow you to draw certain features from a certain angle or certain different direction. Okay, now coming to one last point, which is the revolve features. That's the last feature I'm going to explain for you. And in the revolve feature, it allows you to make a 3D object in a rotation way. Now for revolve feature, I would love to create a new file or a new part file, so it helps us understand it better. For demonstrating the revolve feature, I'm going to open a new part file, and let's take the front plane, right click and sketch. The revolve features allows you to make parts which are cylindrical in nature. For example, a flower vase or a cup or a screwdriver and these type of items. Okay, so let me give you an example. The sketching for the revolve feature is a little bit tricky. How do you do it? Have a look at this example. I'm going to draw a simple sketch here and then use a revolve feature for that. So I'm going to go left on the origin here using this feature, and then I go a little bit slanting, then I go a little bit up, then I go here, and I can go up again. You can see how I am developing a certain type of sketch, and then I can draw this one, and I can go down, and in the end I will come back to original point. But remember, the sketching in the revolve should be symmetrical for the two sides. So once I develop this type of sketch, I can exit my sketch and go to the features part. Go to the features. In the features you will see here revolve option. I don't want to select the sketch before going to revolve to demonstrate you. So how the revolve works, you can see in the demo here. It allows you to revolve your sketch around a certain line. So click on revolve and it asks you which sketch you want to revolve around. While selecting the sketch, I want you to select the straight edge from which you want the sketch to revolve. So click on the straight edge, and here it will give you a 3D view of how it's going to revolve. You can see this object or this 3D feature is revolving around this line to make you this shape. Once you click OK, you can see you have a nice lamp looking shape ready by only using one feature. So this is the power of using revolve. Yes, I agree, there can be other ways to make this lamp by using boss extrude and cutting, but revolve feature allowed me to make this by only using one sketch. So this is the only challenge in using the revolve feature, is to develop appropriate sketch. That's it. And then you can make any part you like. So this cone feature, especially if you can see how it beautifully it make. And there is another extension of revolve which is called revolve cut. So what it does, it cuts using the revolve pattern. Okay, that's the demonstration of revolve feature for today, and I want you to try advanced features on your own, and they work in the same way. There is guidance given when you as you select it. For example, sweep is this feature, and it helps you sweep one profile to another profile. And you have another feature called loft. It also allows you to make different interesting shapes. There is a very important feature called shell, which I also want you to explore on your own. It's given here on top. And then we have mirror. It allows you to mirror your objects. And in addition, we have scale feature, which is not shown here. You can search it. I want you to explore as many features as you want. You can create as many trial parts as you like and play with this software to learn different options here given on the top. And these can allow you to create your creative parts for your projects as well as your 3D models you required in this lab as well as in the final project of this lab. Okay.